From Conception to Birth is, I think, one of my favorite books. It is really dear to me. I was able to write down the things I had come to know about in observing my relationships with my children as they became adults, in observing their interactions with their own children. And I came to understand quite a few things. I have three children, one daughter. We had a very difficult relationship, literally from conception to this very day. And it really prompted me to go take a look at exactly what is going on. Now, I had to come to know that because she is now an adult and a grandmother of her own, there is nothing that I can do to rectify our relationship in reality. This is something that she is going to have to do on her own. She's going to have to make a decision that she wants to clear this relationship in order to clear certain parts of her own soul evolution or not. It is totally up to her. But I had to come to realize where I was, where my part was, what I had done. And in going back and reviewing the pregnancy, it was extremely difficult because my emotions were in such turmoil. This was not a planned pregnancy. This was not an ideal situation. And all of those emotions were going on at the time that I was carrying this child, even to the thought of suicides had it not been for the fact that I had another daughter that I felt that really needed me and that who was going to love her if I exited stage left, to even going in. So consequently, our the child is in a matrix. It's in a soul matrix during pregnancy. And the mother's emotions and the mother's view and feelings and outlook on life are actually feeding into the spiritual matrix of this unborn child. And so, without going into all the intricacies, this book really helped me understand. It helped me forgive myself. It helped me come to that place where I really knew the importance of our emotional state during pregnancy. And generally, we discover that we're pregnant, we're with an OBGYN or we're with a clinic, and they stress taking vitamins, they stress getting plenty of rest. But more often than not, they do not stress the emotional aspect of the mother and how very important it is. Her feelings are giving this child the identity that it will forge when it comes upon the planet. And it will come with a preconceived notion. If the mother is extremely emotionally upset, if this is an unwanted pregnancy to the point of the mother is extremely distraught during the entire gestation period, you're going to produce a child that does not feel loved, no matter how you count it, no matter how much you grab it and bring it to you. It cannot accept any love from you. It does not feel at a soul level that you actually love it. I've experienced this in my own life. I remember that when my daughter was born, and I got this big rush of, oh, she's mine. I love her. She's here. I've got to do everything I can for her. And the list went on and on. I always had to fight. I would have to grab her. She would not come to me and willingly hug me. She was always distant and pulled away from me. Now, in her mind, she has translated that to where that I was cold. But I came to know that this is because during the entire pregnancy, she was unwanted. She was unwanted. She really was unloved. I beat myself up over how this could happen to me and what I needed to do. I did try to abort her several times. So I'm only saying this to say that that emotion that we are having during pregnancy is so very critical. And we need to start to take a look at that. So when I wrote From Conception to Birth, I really had that in mind. I really felt like if I can have and if I can help another young mother nip it, get into some kind of therapy. I have just recently read an article not too long ago where mothers are starting to go into therapy for postpartum depression. I say that that is after the horse has left the barn. And I feel that you need to have something going on during your pregnancy, especially if this is a very difficult pregnancy. In the case of being unplanned, unwanted, statistically, you would be shocked to know that fully 95% of pregnancies are unplanned and unwanted. And so we're putting all of this energy out on the planet. And so as we move into fifth dimensional energy, which is a planet of transparency, a planet of acceptance and tolerance and understanding, as we prepare on our evolutionary journey to have our being more in the fifth dimension and less in three-dimensional awareness, then it's very important for us to start to get ahead of these things and to start to realize and recognize that we are forming this spiritual being, that their idea of their relationship to us and their relationship to the world that they are coming to is being largely formed before they even make their entrance. Keeping in mind that even though this is a pregnancy and it may be your first pregnancy or however many, keeping in mind that that is a soul that is an eternal being. That is a soul that has been around a very long time. So do not make the mistake of thinking that those little crazy thoughts that you've got going on in your head are not affecting this child. You are heard, you are felt, you are known. From Conception to Birth is a really good CD that I created from the book that I wrote of the same title, and classes that I also offer to expectant mothers. And this is a really, really good idea. It gives you a really good foundational aspect to what is going on during pregnancy and the very, very important stance of your emotions and your spiritual feelings during this time. It's a wonderful time. It can be a very, very good nurturing relationship for mother and child if it is understood and started in the correct emotional place.